I remember your face now when you reminded me of the football field. I thought so too when we just came here, but I dismissed it. So, what has all this got to do with your visit to us again? Banji asked again, bringing to the fore the reason for this sudden familiarity. Yes, Shola, you are our senior colleague at work and in service who absconded from it and got paid. We know you now, but what effect has that got on the price of Gary? I pressed sarcastically. She smiled, sat down again, looked at me, then at Banji, then she said, I know you two have heard about my deeds. I have come to tell you things you don't know about me and why I did those things I did. This girl is an enigma, so full of herself. I know you both hate me passionately due to what you have heard that I did. I did them truly, but not without a reason. The reason might be flimsy, but I would love you to listen to me before you pass your final judgment on me. Shola continued. Who told you we heard anything about you? Or did we say anything to you about anybody reporting you to us? That was Banji, smarting out of his anger. The Yoruba says that when a statement is yours, you will know surely if it is yours. Jide and Banji, don't feed me. I can feed myself. Your countenance and attitude towards me since we met at the canteen speaks volume of words. And don't forget that I had your conversation over the meal while I was coming out of the canteen. I am no kid. I know you had heard something, and with your character and antecedents in this school, I know that those girls had told you all that happened between us, and moreover, you, Jide, had caught me 3 times on that bed with my young boyfriends. I just want you to listen to me before you conclude over me, she begged. She had said the truth, but I had not planned to confront her on the issue. Rather, she had presented herself on a platter of gold to be devoured not only by me, but by my trusted friend as well. It was time to play along. Let's hear what pushed her into such shameful acts. I had noticed something about me. When people have problems, I seem to have the perfect solution to their problems. But when I become webbed in a dilemma, trilemma, or any problem whatsoever, I find no solution to them on my own. Rather, they just got solved somehow. This is one of such. Shola had just helped me solve this one, and it is even more than what I would have done or wanted. I am Shola, the only living daughter and child of Chief and Mrs. Orilowo. Her sonorous voice once again snapped me out of my reverie. There is still something I find irresistible about that voice. I, as you know, am a pedophile. I do boys and girls under the age of 18. Presently, I have 8 girls and 5 boys under me who I do things with. I was the one who taught Bola, Bimbo, and Shade the act of bisexualism. I have my own boyfriend who is unaware of this act of mine. I know you hate me, especially Banji, and you would love to hand me over to the police. But please, wait before doing that, she confessed. I looked into her eyes. They were heavy with tears, but I was not moved by them. Rather, they made me hate her more even as she looked repentant. Banji stood up from his seat. He paced around for a while before looking at her straight in the eyes, seeing the tears she was fighting not to shed. I saw my friend's hand clenched into a fist, and before I could say Robinson, he crashed his feet into Shola's face. Bah! What are you telling me? Answer me. What are you telling me? You shameless bitch. You want to ruin the lives of young girls. You taught them the act of blackmail. You even sleep with young boys, yet you have the effrontery to stand in front of I and my friend and tell us to listen to your trash. What the hell have you got to say? Speak or I will add to it for you. You are happy that you do bad things. Just thank God this is a school. Nonsense, he poured out. It was too fast and Shola did not have the chance to dodge it. I held Banji. I had known such would happen, but I did not expect it that soon. That was the second time he would hit a girl since I had known him. The first being an insolent fool he beat up when we were in secondary school. Banji was not remorseful about his action. Rather, he meant to give her another of that deadly feast, but I held him and made him sit down. I knew better than say anything to him. Shola held her face where the well-timed blow had caught her between her upper lips and nose. I walked to her, having stepped back from the heat. I begged her and told her to go out, but she refused. She said, I deserve it and more, Jide. I know you two feel like punching me, but you are just masking it. I fear you more than Banji. The worst he could do is physical assault. Yours could be worse. Leave me and help me to beg him to allow me finish my story in peace. After, he can then punch me to death. I looked at my fuming friend and begged him with my eyes. He looked away. The staff room by then had become empty. The other staff members had gone home and we were the only ones left there. They had not alerted us of their exit and they had not witnessed the little incident. I was glad. Shola looked at her watch. I looked at mine. It was well past 3. As I made to talk, she held up her hand saying, please, let's leave here and go to my place or yours. My house is a stone throw from here, but if you aren't comfy with it, we could go to yours. I just need us to finish this today. That said, I walked over to Banji, who reluctantly agreed that we walk to her house. With that, we told her to lead the way out of the room to her house, where all our story would be heard. Our house was truly not far from the school. After 10 minutes of graveyard silent walk at a snail speed from the school, we got there. It was a two-story building and she lived on the first floor. The ground floor was occupied by another set of people. The ground floor was the type normally called face me, I face you. It was a room and parlor affair with beds and kitchen ensuite. I roughly counted 5 of such as we walked through the passage to the stairs at the end of the long hallway. The people at home peeped to greet her in a respectful manner and she replied as best as she could with her swollen mouth. One of them even asked her what happened and she lied that she had a minor accident and her 2 colleagues at work helped her home. The man thanked us profusely, but we never uttered a word as we progressed to the stairs. We took the flight of stairs one after the other with Shola in front, followed by Banji, then I. Shola lived in a 4-bedroom flat all alone. She let herself in and asked us to come in, which we did. Her sitting room was tastefully furnished and every item in the room spoke of affluence. I asked myself how she came about the money to live in such opulence. Definitely, her salary could not afford that such luxury. I was lost in thought, but I did well to appear unfazed by the sight that greeted me at Shola's house. We were also comfortable, but this was too much for a single lady living alone. Banji was also surprised by what we saw. I saw the look on his face as Shola excused herself to change her clothes and clean her swollen, bloodied mouth. She came back and asked what we would eat or drink. The still vexing Banji replied, did you bring us here to eat and drink? If you have nothing better to say, we could be on our way. I knew better than to say otherwise. I was still angry, but something told me to exercise caution in expressing my anger. Shola went in and brought out 2 glasses and a large bottle of ever water. She placed it on the center table opposite us and sat herself on one-seater chair across the room. Her action infuriated Banji again as he stood up moving to the table. He picked one of the glasses, but I was fast this time around as I held his hand before he threw it at Shola. His hand shook and the glass dropped on the rug floor without breaking. I picked it up and placed it on the tray. Shola, take this out of here and tell us why you brought us here, or we would like to go home, I said to her. Shola was still shocked at Banji's action. She could not believe that she just escaped another onslaught from the angry man in front of her. Banji sat down beside me, still fuming, as she threw the tray out and placed it on the dining table. She came back and sat on her former chair. Then she cleared her voice, which was badly shaking. I don't know how to begin, she said. She couldn't gather her thoughts. Banji had shaken her badly. That guy was a terrorist. Finally, after several minutes, she got her voice and began to speak. I am Shola Orilowo, as you know. I am the only surviving daughter and child of Chief and Mrs. Orilowo. This is where my parents lived before their death, but now I am the landlady of the house and other properties they had. Please be patient with me as I tell you my journey into pedophile and bisexualism. I am sorry, Banji, please just be a little calm and please just listen to me, she pleaded. My dad married my mom some 30 something years ago. I was the only child they had, and I had 3 other siblings. All these were going well till one day when my mom took ill. Daddy took her to the hospital and she was admitted. Mommy was diagnosed of kidney stone and she was flown abroad then for surgery. She came back and was well for some months. before she had a relapse and back to the hospital again and with the same ailment, she narrated. We were touched by that, but we had not softened totally. We listened with rapt attention. The doctor assured Dad she would be all right, but she was not. All efforts put in yielded no result. She was flown abroad again, but it was still the same thing. Mom lived in the hospital for close to a year. Then, one bright morning, on my third birthday, my siblings and I visited her at the hospital to spend the day with her. She was extra lively that day and she played and prayed for us. She later asked us to go, that she wanted to sleep. Dad came home that night to tell us that our mother had given up the struggle to live. She was said to have died smiling. I still believe I killed her. She cleaned the drop of tears in her eyes and continued. 2 years after her death, Dad married the woman who changed my life. Find out what happens in the next episode of Jide's Diary. If you enjoyed this story, you will also enjoy other stories on this channel. Kindly subscribe, hit on the notification bell so you get notified when other stories drop. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment in the comment section. Also, share with friends and family. Till I come your way again in my next story. This is Bolurex saying bye for now.